My name is Kinsley Smith. I'm a housewife celebrating 20 years of marriage. Our family is harmonious, and my husband David cherishes us deeply. I've lived my life devoted to my family, trusting in David. Our twin sons, for some reason, are prodigies with IQs of 150. They easily got into prestigious universities and are currently interning at the major corporation where David works. Though we've faced storms at times, our household has been smooth sailing. However, a storm that seemed it might sink us has arrived. It happened one afternoon. I decided to check out a slightly different store and extended my trip to a station a few miles away. As I wandered around with heavy bags, I encountered a man resembling my husband. Oh. What caught my attention was the woman next to him. She was noticeably younger than me and radiated an unreal beauty. This stunning woman was leaning on my husband, who's nearly 50, arm in arm, smiling blissfully. Is this? The words affair and infidelity came to mind. Unable to confront them, I ended up just taking a photo. By evening, drained of the energy to cook, I sat on the living room couch, staring at the photo on my smartphone. Then, I knew David had come home. What's wrong? There he was, seemingly unchanged. As if the man I saw today was someone else. But I had looked at the photo over and over. I even zoomed in. The suit, the bag, the hairstyle. In the photo were unmistakably David's. Did you happen to walk in front of the station a few miles away today? Attention emanated from him. Well, what time? In the evening. Not sure. She's very beautiful, isn't she? Almost doesn't look like an ordinary person, so beautiful. Like an actress or a model. Yes. That woman, yeah. She must be a model associated with the company. We're planning to launch a new commercial, so she's probably involved in that. Is that so? But you two seemed quite close. I showed him the smartphone I was holding. After a moment of silence, David confessed everything. Hearing the truth, I was speechless. I can't cook tonight. I'm sorry. Please eat out. Okay. With a guilty look, David turned and left the house. As he did, the tears I had been holding back started to flow. My sons returned home as David left and noticed me crying, but I couldn't respond to their questions. However, seeing the smartphone on the table, they were speechless. Mom, this. I've been deceived for 15 years. That's all I could finally say. What do you mean? He's been cheating? Hey, Jack. This woman. Yeah. Mom, what are you gonna do? Even if asked what to do, I have no answer. David said he loves this woman. But he also said he couldn't destroy our family. Yet, recalling the happy look on his face at that moment, it's hard to believe those were his true feelings. Maybe he really wants to live his life with her. Such thoughts keep coming to me. I always thought I was loved by my husband. I believed that living with David was my entire life. And yet, to think it has come to this. Maybe it's better to separate, for David's sake. Perhaps that would be best for him. When did Dad start doing this? 15 years ago, right? She said she's been deceived for 15 years. Oh, did she mention that? Listen properly. But it's too shocking. Mom must be more shocked. Yeah. How old is this woman? Hard to say, she's incredibly beautiful. Looks to be in her early 30s. She's 40. 40, huh? She's quite old then. A real piece of work. To think she'd get involved with someone like Dad. She could be one of the world's 7 wonders. Dad wants to live with this woman. Really? Yeah, he said that. But he also doesn't want to ruin our lives. That's impossible. You can't have both. Maybe if you're really rich. Right, an average employee can't manage that. Where does Dad's heart truly lie? His true feelings? Yeah, If his desire to live with her is real, holding him back won't make anyone happy. But why? I wonder why I never noticed that Dad's heart wasn't here. Was I too happy? Too happy? Yes, maybe I was so happy that I thought this was normal and couldn't read Dad's feelings. Mom, you're too kind. Dad's the one who cheated, you have every right to be angry. His feelings don't matter. But I'm the one who let it happen. Mom did everything a wife should do. There's no way he had complaints. You always make delicious meals. This is Dad's fault. That's right, Mom, you shouldn't blame yourself. But Dad's face was so happy. I've never seen him look that happy. Maybe he's happier with her than with me. But holding him back would only cause him pain. It's better if we split up, isn't it? Dad wants to be with her. If I wish for Dad's happiness, I should step aside, shouldn't I? Are you serious? Even though Dad is the one at fault? I think it's for the best. Well, if Mom thinks so, we can't stop her, but... Yeah, thank you. I think it's best to separate for Dad's sake too. It's for his happiness, more than staying with me. Even though I think this, the tears still come. It's like losing the air around me, and without air, you can't breathe. He was that important to me, and to think it has come to this. Mom, are you really okay with splitting up? Yeah, it's inevitable. For Dad to be happy, it's better if I step back. I believe that's what happiness is. Even if I've been deceived all this time, I've received so much happiness from him. Okay, then, Mom. You mind if I show him hell? Hell? Yeah, that's right. It's crazy that only Mom has to draw the short straw for Dad's and that woman's sake. If we're splitting up anyway, might as well make Dad taste hell. That's right. If we're doing this, might as well teach him a real lesson. Hearing my son's words made me think my decision to separate for my husband's sake was a lie. Splitting up for his happiness is just a nice idea. Inside me, there's hatred for being deceived for 15 years. It's definitely there. Yet, why was I trying to suppress those feelings? If I could really show him hell, if I could really drop him into it, then I want to do that. I want to make my husband, who betrayed our family, suffer just as much. So, Mom, what do you think? Well, but how? That's what we need to figure out now. After all, we don't know what weaknesses he has. First, we need to thoroughly research to find out what method would be most effective. That's right. Even if we set a trap, if it doesn't cause enough pain, it's a waste. Yeah, I agree. We have to make him regret it to the bone. After all, he made Mom cry. My sons, contemplating what they said, left my side and went into their rooms. Even as I thought about preparing food for them, I couldn't bring myself to move and ended up crawling into bed. No matter how much I try to be strong, the tears just keep flowing. Despite all the pain I'm feeling, where is my husband now, and what is he doing? Maybe he's gone to her. Such thoughts make me suffer even more. If possible, I wish I could go back to just a few hours ago, not knowing any of this, and return to the life of cooking for my husband and gathering around the table with my family, as usual. But that's impossible. Why did this happen? What did I do wrong? No matter how much I regret, it's futile and I can't stop the tears. The next day, my sons said they had work and left the house. David never came back. Always making sure his shirts were washed and ironed, the David who didn't return must be wearing crumpled shirts by now. I wonder where he is and what he's doing. Such thoughts come to mind, but there's nothing I can do. After seeing my sons off, all I could do again was crawl back into bed. Unlike me, my sons had begun to take decisive steps towards revenge. Looks like Dad didn't come home last night. Yeah, seems like it. That's why Mom is even more upset. There's no point in getting down about it. Can't help it. We just have to do what we can for her. I wonder if Dad's at work? Yeah, I saw him earlier. Working in his crumpled shirt. If he didn't come home, that figures. So, how are we gonna get our revenge? We need to figure out his moves first. Right. By the way, that woman in the photo, that's her, isn't it? One of the sons glanced towards the woman in the photo. Yeah, 90% sure it's her. It's tough to say 100% because it's a photo. What do we do? Follow them on the way back? Sounds good, I'll follow Dad. Then, I'll follow her. Hard to say if they'll meet today though. No, they'll meet. They were caught by Mom yesterday. Or, Dad might have gone to her place last night. Even so, it'd be hard for him to come back home, so he'll likely go to her place. Indeed. That's some deep analysis. You were thinking the same thing, weren't you? Yeah, I was. And so, the sons decided to follow them separately. One after Dad, the other after the woman. However, despite leaving separately, both ended up at the same apartment building. Whoa! Jack! What's up, Sebastian? Looks like this might be her place, huh? Maybe. I couldn't find a name on the mailbox. Maybe it's a room just for their secret meetings? Could Dad have rented it? Should we check with the real estate agency? Yeah, I'll look into something else. Something else? Now that it's clear they're together, we need to tighten the noose. Right, makes sense. I'll leave that to you then. I'll handle this side. While attending university lectures, the two spent a week investigating David and the woman, managing their part-time jobs as well. It seems they found out several things, and on the night before Monday, they shared it with me. Mom, could you come to the office tomorrow? To the office? Yeah, there's something important. I'll show you Dad heading for hell tomorrow. But there's something I need to ask of you, the sons said, and then they shared their plan with me. The next afternoon, just as they had asked, I went to the office, and my sons were waiting for me at the entrance. Mom, we're gonna meet with the president now, but make sure you do what we asked you yesterday. Yes. I'll be fine. The sons exchanged looks and then got on the elevator to head to the top floor. When they arrived at the president's office, there was David's lover, Nevaeh. Just like when I saw her a week ago, her beauty was mesmerizing. The president, though frowning, unsure of what was happening, still carried an air of dignity. What's this about? Jack, Sebastian? Sorry to trouble you. We have something very important to discuss. But we can't proceed without one more actor in our play. Actor? At that moment, the door to the president's office was knocked, and David entered. David. Nevaeh. The two of them calling each other's names in front of the wife. I felt dizzy. What's going on here? It seemed the president was the only one who didn't understand. No, I didn't understand either. What exactly was the relationship between this Nevaeh and the president? First, let me introduce. President, Director Nevaeh. This woman is our mother, Kinsley, the wife of David. Oh, is that so? Mom, this is the president and his daughter, Nevaeh. His daughter? Yes, Nevaeh is the president's daughter and also a director. And she's also Dad's girlfriend. That's correct. What? Sorry. You're involved with my daughter while you have a wife? President, please hold off on the anger. It seems Dad and Nevaeh have been together for 15 years now. They've been living like a couple, spending time together in an apartment they rented after work, then going back to their respective homes. Is that so? Nevaeh, you. I'm sorry. Are you two in love, without a doubt? Yes. I love David. Even after 15 years, I never once thought about breaking up. Is it because you want to marry him? Yes, of course. Nevaeh. David is a married man. Sorry, but I can't stop these feelings. I'd rather be the woman in the shadows, as long as I can be by David's side. Do you want to marry Nevaeh, Dad? Hey, Jack! It's okay, you can tell us your true feelings. That is. David seemed unable to say the truth in this situation. Saying yes would hurt me, and saying no could provoke the president's wrath. Considering his future, he likely couldn't express his true feelings. Do you want to be with Nevaeh, Dad? Or was she just a fling? It was not just a fling. How could anyone be in a relationship for 15 years just for fun? Did you know Nevaeh was the president's daughter when you started dating her? No, it wasn't like that. When I first started dating Nevaeh, she was a radiant 25-year-old young lady. I thought there's no way such a beautiful lady would date a plain guy like me. But I hoped at least she would have dinner with me, and when I asked, she accepted. Then I hoped we could drink together, and she agreed to that too. With each occasion, my feelings grew stronger. And Nevaeh, did you feel the same? Yes. I knew he was married. Even though I knew it was wrong, I couldn't help falling for him. Just having dinner with David was enough for me. But once one wish was fulfilled, I found myself wanting more, like having drinks together. Before I knew it, David had become a significant part of my life, and our relationship deepened. Oh, I'm sorry. Nevaeh apologized for the depth of their relationship. It was after we became involved that she first told me she was the president's daughter. What a thing to do! To steal another woman's husband. Shameful! I'm sorry. But I couldn't stop my feelings. I thought many times that we had to break up, but... So, both of you want to be together? Yes. I'm truly sorry. If I'm just speaking my feelings, then yes. But when I think of his wife, I know it's something we shouldn't wish for. And you, David? David looked at the president and then at me. The president had an indescribable expression on his face. Well, that's to be expected. His daughter is in a romantic relationship with a married man, a company employee. But if his daughter has dedicated 15 years to a man only to be discarded now, that would be truly painful. As for me, I neither showed anger nor smiled broadly. David, Nevaeh is being honest with her feelings. You should respond to that. Yeah, sorry. I do want to be with her. Kinsley, if I can be with David, I'll support his career advancement. I've already been doing everything I can for him, but I'll strive even more for his sake. So, you're asking for my forgiveness? Yes. Yeah, Nevaeh has been really good to me. I even got a recommendation for a director position because of her. There's a director position offer? Yeah, it wasn't confirmed yet, so I hadn't told you, but it's true. I see. Congratulations. So, it's just Mom left. What do you want to do with Dad? Continue together or... Jack looked into my eyes and nodded. It was a signal for now's the time. Nevaeh is such a wonderful lady, and I've already spent 20 years with my husband. He says he's happy with Nevaeh. I saw them together the other day, and he truly looked happy. I can't crush that happiness out of selfishness. Therefore, I'll step aside. I've kept you waiting for a long time, Nevaeh, but please be happy with him from now on. Madam, are you really okay with this? Yes. If I wish for my husband's happiness and Nevaeh's happiness, that's the natural answer. Thank you. I'm sorry for my daughter's outrageous selfishness. If Nevaeh is willing to marry and Dad has the intention to, it's only right for Mom to gracefully step aside. We'll be here for Mom, so there's nothing to worry about. However, in exchange, please pay alimony and cover our college expenses until we graduate. And we'll also ask Nevaeh for compensation. After all, even if it's Dad's fault, the fact remains that a family was broken. Understood. I might not be able to fully compensate, but I'll do what I can. I'll transfer the house to you and the rest of the assets. I don't need them, so do as you please. No, if you're going to let my daughter marry you, I'll also provide a monthly allowance to ensure she can live comfortably. That's really something. Thank you. Mom hasn't worked for a long time, so hearing you say that will definitely help her. So, please don't hold a grudge against my daughter. Yes, of course. I bowed respectfully, never imagining that such an arrangement would be made. David, if you marry her, I promise you the director's position. President. Thank you so much. That's great for you, David. Yeah, thank you, Nevaeh. Thank you, Kinsley. David, promise you'll stay by her side forever. I'm counting on you. Yes, of course. David, Nevaeh, and the president were all thrilled. But this couldn't be the end. It wouldn't serve as revenge or send anyone to hell. The son smirked and moved the conversation to the next phase. So, Dad, you'll also pay off Nevaeh's debts, right? You're becoming a director, so it shouldn't be a problem, right? Debts? Yeah, about $200,000, right? Why so much? Well, Nevaeh has undergone gender reassignment surgery. It's not something to bring up now, but you must be well aware of it. Dad, there's no need to be shocked. You love her, after all. What do you mean? Nevaeh was originally a man. She felt a disconnect with her body and underwent gender reassignment surgery. The cost of the surgery and travel expenses led her to take on debt. Additionally, Nevaeh, when she was a man, had a very masculine appearance, so she also underwent cosmetic surgery to achieve her current look. You know a lot about it. Sorry, we had it investigated. All those expenses combined amount to about $200,000. And being a woman, the costs for cosmetics, clothes, bags, and so on. To maintain the image of a president's daughter, you inevitably go for high-end products, right? Yes, that's correct. So, the monthly payments are quite significant. But don't worry. After all, Dad's going to be a director. Right. Nevaeh's original name was Gabriel, you know. Gabriel. Yeah, such a good name, right? They wanted a strong boy so badly. They named him with that hope in mind. Is that so? David seemed completely unaware of this matter and turned pale. Moreover, David has prejudices against gender changes and homosexuality. This must truly feel like being cast into hell. And at this point, there's no way he could say he wants to back out. Well, normally, a parent would cover it, but I just can't understand men becoming women. So, I told him if you really want to do it, you have to find the money yourself. And he actually did it. I never thought he'd take out loans to undergo the surgery. Ah. The president wanted to raise you as a manly man, huh? Yeah, exactly. Things don't always go as planned. When I heard a boy was born, I dreamed of him taking a wife, having grandchildren. I thought Gabriel would become president one day, and the next generation would be led by my grandchildren. Ah, haha. Right. But then, being told she wanted to become a woman, it felt like everything vanished. I thought we had to choose the successor from among the employees, thinking no man would accept a woman who had been a man. I was prepared for her to remain single all her life. Yet, to find someone who'd stay by her side for life, how fortunate. Now I can rest easy. Ah, that's right. Since David is Jack's and Sebastian's father, if Nevaeh marries him, they would be my grandchildren. With their high IQs and capabilities, they could one day sit in the president's chair too. Wow. The company's future is secure. The president was overjoyed. Then Jack presented the divorce papers and asked for my signature. With everything already decided, I signed without hesitation, and the paper was passed to David, who signed it with a trembling hand. Since we can't register the marriage until 1 to 2 weeks after submitting the divorce papers, how about we write the marriage registration now, as it's a joyful occasion? That sounds good. It's best to do it here while everyone's present. Following Jack's suggestion, the president accepted, and Sebastian and I clapped our hands. Forced by the situation, David, with a shaking hand, signed the marriage registration form. "Congratulations," I said to Nevaeh, who responded with a happy smile. "Now, you two are essentially husband and wife. Congratulations! Isn't that wonderful?" However, unable to escape, David was crying alone. "Ah, David, are those tears of joy?" Nevaeh asked, but my sons and I knew better. These weren't tears of joy. That night, when David came back to pack his things, we helped to quickly get him out, but he broke down crying. "No, no! Why do I have to marry a man? Why is she a man?" "Well, you thought she was a woman for 15 years, so it's fine, right? You couldn't tell the difference." "But even if she looks like a woman, she's still a man. I don't want to marry a man." "You're becoming a director, there's no need to complain, right? And you won't find such a beauty among women." "What are you talking about? She's only beautiful because of plastic surgery. Maintaining that will cost a fortune." "You're a director, it's fine. She's a director too, no problem. Thanks to Dad, we're gonna be presidents. It's a win-win." Dad's affair turned out to be a jackpot for us. We don't even have to job hunt. I'm not happy at all. You might be, but I have to marry a man. That's the bed you made for yourself. Maybe, but I can't accept this. Her name was Genta, for crying out loud. Totally a man. It's cruel to say that. Her heart is female. And her body too. She's a beautiful woman now. My stepmother. Indeed. Our stepmother, and the president's daughter no less. We hit the jackpot. No, no. Kinsley, let's start over. Please, I beg you. I'll apologize, just give me another chance. What about your job? I'll quit. Better to quit than to marry a man. If you quit, the boys won't become presidents. You've been with her for 15 years, you'll be fine. You've managed to deceive us all this time, just deceive yourself from now on. Deceive myself? Yeah. Just convince yourself she's female. Do it for your sons. Trick yourself into it. No, no, no. Despite his protests, we quickly packed his belongings and kicked him out. Later, a grand wedding took place, and David became Nevaeh's husband. He smiled throughout the ceremony, but he wasn't happy. Yet, he married her and started a new life as a couple. However, David never rose above the director position. Meanwhile, Nevaeh became a board member, showing her prowess. Being busy, she couldn't do the housework, leaving David, who had never done it before, to take over domestic duties. Despite how busy Nevaeh is, one might expect her to lend a helping hand to David, but that was not the case at all. Despite her kindness before, Nevaeh turned into a tyrant, losing all her former gentleness. She seemed more like a beautiful man now. Consequently, I started receiving frequent complaint emails from David. Their content was always, "This is hell. I have to embrace a man at night, and I can't escape. This is pure hell." Receiving such emails, our family would read them together, laughing. I received a substantial alimony and a significant monthly allowance. Moreover, a significant amount of money is deposited into our accounts every month as living expenses. The boys secured jobs at the company and were promised the presidency. My life is secured until the end. Truly, I am the victor. Today's wine tastes exceptionally delicious.